ॐ नमो नारायणाय। 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 श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मन मुकुर सुधारी। वरनौ रघुबर विमल जसु जो दायक फल चारि। बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरो पवन कुमार। बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेश विकार। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर। जय कपीस तिहु उजागर। राम दूत अतुलित बल धामा। अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा। महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी। कुमति निवारी सुमति के संगी। कंचन बरन बिराज सुभेशा। कानन कुंडल कुंचित केशा। हाथ वज्र और ध्वजा विराजे। कांधे मूंज जनेऊ साजे। शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन। तेज प्रताप महाजगबंदन। विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर। राम काज करिबे को आतुर। प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया। राम लखन सीता वन बसिया। सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा। विकट रूप धरि रंग जरावा। भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे। रामचंद्र के काज सवारे। लाए सजीवन लखन जियाए। श्री रघुबीर हरषि उर लाए। रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई। तुम मम प्रिय भरतहि सब भाई। सहस बदन तुमरो जस गावे। अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावे। सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा। नारद सारद सहित अहीसा। जब कुबेर दिगपाल जहाते। कवि कोविद कहि सके कहते। तुम उपकार सुग्रीवहि कीन्हा। राम मिलाय राजपद दीन्हा। तुम्हरो मंत्र विभीषण माना। लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना। युग सहस्र जो जन पर भानु। लील्यो ताहि मधुर फल जानु। प्रभु मुद्रिका बलि मुख माहि। जलधि लागी गए अचरज नाहि। दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते। सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हरे तेते। राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे। होत न आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे। सब सुख लहे तुम्हारी शरणा। तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना। आपन तेज सवारो आपे। तीनों लोक हाकते कापे। भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे। महावीर जब नाम सुनावे। दासे रोग हरे सब सब पीरा, जपत निरंतर हनुमत बीरा। संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावे, मन क्रम बचन ध्यान जो लावे। सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा, तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा। और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे, सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे। चारों जुग पर ताप तुम्हारा, है पर सिद्ध जगत उजियारा। साधु संत की तुम रखवारे, असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे। अष्ट सिद्धि नव निधि के दाता, असबर दीन जानकी माता। राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा, सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा। तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावे, जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे। अंत काल रघुबरपुर जाई, जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई। और देवता चित्त न धरहि, हनुमत से ही सर्व सुख करहि। संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा, जो सुमिरे हनुमत बलबीरा। जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करो गुरुदेव की नाई। जो सतबार पाठ कर कोई, छूटहि बंदी महा सुख होई। जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा, होय सिद्धि साखी गौरीसा। तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा, की जय नाथ हृदय बहडेरा। की जय नाथ हृदय बहडेरा। पवन तनय संकट हरन, मंगल मूर्ति रूप। राम लखन सीता सहित, हृदय बसो सुर भूप। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय, बोलो रे भाई सब संतन की जय। राधे कृष्ण की ज्योति अलौकिक, तीनों लोक में छाए रही है। राधे कृष्ण की ज्योति अलौकिक, तीनों लोक में छाए रही है। भक्ति विवश एक प्रेम पुजारिन, फिर भी दीप जलाए रही है। भक्ति विवश एक प्रेम पुजारिन, फिर भी दीप जलाए रही है। कृष्ण को गोकुल से राधे को, कृष्ण को गोकुल से राधे को, बरसाने से बुलाए रही है। दोनों करो स्वीकार, कृपा कर जोगन आरती गाए रही है। दोनों करो स्वीकार, कृपा कर जोगन आरती गाए रही है। भोर भये ते साँझ ढले तक, भोर भये ते साँझ ढले तक, सेवा को नित देव हमारा। स्नान कराए वो वस्त्र ओढ़ाए, वो भोग लगाए वो लागत प्यारा। स्नान कराए वो वस्त्र ओढ़ाए, वो भोग लगाए वो लागत प्यारा। कब तेरी हारत आपकी ओर, कब तेरी हारत आपकी ओर, की आप हमारी और निहारो। राधे कृष्ण हमारे धाम को, जानी वृंदावन धाम पधारो। राधे कृष्ण हमारे धाम को, जानी वृंदावन धाम पधारो। So beautiful, isn't it? Prabhu does not, of course he likes it when we chant his name. Who does not? When we adore him, when we love him, when we have full faith in him. We all like it, right? When somebody says, I have faith in you. So the Lord also likes it when we say we have faith in you. But He does not get offended if we doubt Him also. It's okay. As long as our intentions are pure. True. Just like Vibhishan here. What are we doing? We are doing the Vibhishan Gita. We are in the 9th book of Shrimad Bhagwat Mahapuran. And we are moving towards Krishna Leela, which is the 10th book. As of now, we were discussing the avatars, various avatars, isn't it? And one of the avatars of the Lord is the Ram avatar, the Manoj avatar, where he does a Manav Leela. Many a times we can tell the Lord, isn't it? For you, it is easy. You are the Lord. You have the supreme power. Everything, the Shrishti is in your control. Although the Lord denies it at times, He said, "Aisa nahi hai. I am also bound by Shrishti. I can't make a change. At times, I also get trapped in the, chakra, Savay chakra. I also come down. And to prove it, and to show us the path, He came down as Sri Ram. And He did a Manushya Leela. He said, even if you are a Manushya, you are nothing but me, isn't it? And I'm going to show you, no matter how difficult the time might be, how difficult the situations might be, how helpless we might want to feel, but there is always a way to remain kind and loving. Sri Ram shows us, even when you are in trouble, when there is nothing much you can do for yourself, right? When Sita Ma got stolen, he was in the jungle looking for help. He could have run to the neighboring kingdoms and asked for help, but he was bound by his words. Yet, he did not break his words. He did not bend his promise. He followed the path which he had promised to follow and took the help of whatever and whoever came his way. And even in this distressing situation, when Ma Sita was taken away by Ravan, on the way he helped and he blessed Shabrima, he helped Sugriv, he liberated Bali. He went on serving. He could have said, right, the situation is not in my favor. I, as it is, am going through grief. I do not know what to do. I want people to help me. How can I help anybody else? No. He never said that. He said, it's okay. Whatever I can do, I will. And he went on blessing everybody who came across his path. And what did he have? Any superpowers at that time? He had any siddhis? He had any riddhis? Or did he use his divya shakti? No, he did not. But he had one very strong shakti, right? Which was that he did not blame anybody or any situation, nor did he let anything else take control of his emotions, his intentions. When we started Bhagavatam starts with 3 kind of tap, right? Tap. Adidevik, Adibhautik and Adhyatmik, right? So one is where the natural calamities take over and they become the cause of our sorrow and agony. It could be an earthquake, it could be a tsunami, currently it could be the virus, right? Then the other is where other people are the cause of our agony, right? And our sorrow. Other people inflict pain on us. And the third is when we ourselves are the cause of our agony. Now Ramji knew the secret. He knew that nobody else, be it the natural calamity or somebody else, is the cause of my agony or sorrow. Ramji never let his locus of control be external. His locus of control was always internal. No situation shook him. Nobody created any feeling of hatred or vengeance in his heart. He took the situation as is. He did not define it as a good situation or a bad situation. He did not define any person as a good person or a bad person. At the same time, he did not blame anybody for his agony or sorrow, because he knew that though people think that the natural calamities or the external situations or the people are the major cause of our problems, that is not true. That is what the Bhagavad is trying to tell us. All our scriptures are trying to tell us that nothing outside has the power unless and until you want to give it the power to cause turmoil in yourself. So that is what Ramji teaches us. He said, nothing can cause agony. When Kunti Ma says, give me, what did she say? Give me kathinai, right? Give me hardships so that my Lord, I never forget you. But she never said, ki I'll be sorrowful, right? She asked for hardships. She asked for adverse situations, because in these kind of situations, we turn to the Lord and our prayers are very powerful. So she said that, Lord, do not give me a very comfortable life. Do not give me a life free from trials. Do not give me a life free from tests. Do not give me a tension-free life. But I would rather say hardship-free life. Because whether it tenses us or not, or it causes tension in us or not, is totally in our hand. So she asked this from Lord Krishna. And when Krishna was going away, he said, Ma Kunti, everybody asks me for joy, comfort, riddhi, siddhi. There is nobody who asks me for hardship. Why are you asking for this? What is the intention behind this kind of a desire? Ma Kunti says that when I am in trouble, when I am when the situations are not in my favor, when I'm going through hardships, I know, my Lord, you always come. You always take care of me. And you will always be in my thought when the situation is not favorable. So I do not want a situation which is very comfortable, where you are not in my thought. I'd rather have a situation which is full of hardships, and those situations are welcome, which compel me to think about you. Not only Ma Kunti. If we go back again in Bhagavatam, we talked about Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, where the Sanat Kumars cursed them. They had a choice. Okay, the Lord came and he said, listen, I can redeem you after 7 births. In those 7 births, you will lead a very comfortable life. You will be good people, but you would not have any thought about me. Or I can give you 3 births in which you will be born as devils, but you will never be free from my thought. You'll constantly keep thinking about me. But it will be an adverse thought, right? Like Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, and Jaya Vijaya actually were born as Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu. Then they were born as Ravan and Kumbhakaran and Dantavakra and Shishupal, right? 3 births they took before they returned to Vaikuntha Dham as Jaya and Vijaya. So they chose 3 births where they would be devil, they would be evil, yet their mind would always be preoccupied by the thought of the Lord. And when they chose that, my Lord, let my thought always be preoccupied by you, because 7 births without your thought is very difficult. It is rather okay to have 3 horrible births with your thought. And when we keep thinking about you, whether it is a negative thought or a positive thought, you will definitely come to redeem us, isn't it? And Vishnu said, yes, I will definitely come. For Hiranyaksha, he came as Varaha. For Hiranyakashipu, he came as Narasimha. Then for Kumbhakaran and Ravan, when they took birth as Kumbhakaran and Ravan, he came as Ramji. And for Dantavakra and Shishupal, he came as Lord Shri Krishna. So the Lord is there. He is always in control. He never lets go of us. We might feel when the situation gets out of control, right? When we see so much of panic, so much of agony, so much of hardship, so much of trouble, when we see people starving, when we see people dying, when we see as if, Yam himself has gone rampant, we start doubting the existence of Lord, right? And this is what happened. It's a very simple story, and I'm sure everybody has heard it. There was a person who turned to Lord and he said, Lord, through my trials, whenever I had the toughest of times, you never walked with me. When times were good, I saw 2 footprints on the sand. So during my good time, you were there with me. But when I really, really needed you the most, and I looked down on the footprints on the sand, what did I see? I see only one set of footprints. I saw only one set of footprints. So Lord, whenever I am in deep trouble, when I desperately need you to take control and correct whatever wrong is happening around, you disappear. You just leave me alone and go. What kind of a God are you? How nishtur ho tum. You're so heartless. How could you do such a thing to me? Now when this person was talking and condemning God for being so heartless and ruthless and brutal, and to have left him alone when he needed him the most, the Lord said, oh my dear child, when times were good and it was manageable for you, I always held your hand and I walked beside you. But when I realized that the situation was beyond your control, you would not be able to handle it on your own. It would be difficult for you to keep walking on. That time, my dear child, I carried you. And the footprints that you saw on the sand were not yours, my dear child. They were mine. It is at that time that I carried you, my dear child. I carried you. I never, ever, ever leave my children alone. He reassures us all the time. But again, it is normal for us to doubt, right? Doubt to man mein aa hi jata hai. Over here, Vibhishan was also doubtful, right? When he looked at Ravan, who had this big chariot, he had all the weapons, he had all the shields and armors, he was well prepared, and Ramji seemed very unprepared. What is it? He said there were no shoes, no armors, just a bow and arrow, an army of monkeys fighting with trees and rocks. So Vibhishan got scared. He got so worried. He really worried about Sri Ram. He said, my Lord Ram, are you sure you will be able to fight this monster and defeat him? You are not well equipped. Now Sri Ram knew that the doubt was genuine, but it was out of concern and love, so he did not take offense. And instead, he answered Vibhishan's question lovingly. So when Vibhishan saw Ravan, he said, Ravadurathi Birath Raghubira Dekhai Vibhishan Bhayahu Adhira Adhik Priti Ban बह सदेह बद्धि चरण कह सहित सदेहा दात दरथ दही तद पद त्राण केहि विधि जी तब बीर बलवाना सुडहु सखा कह कृपा निधाना जय जय होय सो स्यदन आना सौरज धीरज तेहि रत चाका सत्यशील दृढ़ ध्वजा पताका बल विवेक दब परहित घोरे शबा कृपा समतार जुजोरे ईश भजनु सारथी सुजाना बिरति चरम संतोष कृपाना दान पर सुबुद्धि दान पर सुबुद्धि शक्ति प्रचंडा पर विज्ञान कठिन कोनंदा अबल अचल मन त्रोण समाना सब जब नियम सीली मुख नाना कवच अभेद विप्र गुरु पूजा एहि सब विजय उपाय न दूजा सखा धर्म भय असरत जाके जीत न कह न कतहु ऋतु ताके बाहा अजय सदसार रिपु जीति सकै सो बीर जाके असरत होय दृढ़ सुनहु सकामति धीर. We should memorize this. It is so beautiful that whenever we feel that we are not equipped or we are losing out or we need support or solace, we can actually chant this to ourselves. It can be a check also. Suppose we are losing and we are not able to be victorious or we are not able to hold on to a battle of any kind, be it an emotional battle, a corporate battle, or a battle with relations. It can be a self-check also. Am I up to the mark? Do I have all the qualities which Sri Ram is talking about? And when we feel that we are losing out, we can remind ourselves that the true weapons, true chariot which is needed to win any kind of battle does not lie outside. It lies within me. It is true, isn't it? It is said that just by his drishti, Lord Shiv can convert mountains into gold. Does he need anything exterior to him to do this? No, it is all within him. We have heard of sages who out of thin air can take, show us rings or babhutis, or they can create miracles. How does it happen? It is all within. But the thing is, we feel it is not so. We doubt it. It is okay. But to eliminate this doubt that we are all powerful, we are all complete, we are as strong as our Lord is, what do we need to do? We need to strengthen these qualities in us. How do we strengthen these qualities? By sadhan. Sadhan karna zaruri hai. It could be any sadhan, right? It could be fasting. It could be controlling your speech. Don't talk if it is not needed. It could be controlling your anger. It could be controlling your frustrations. It could be controlling your jealousy. The mere awareness that there is negativity in us goes a long way. Many a times we are unable to identify or unable to accept that we are wrong. We see fault in everybody else around us, but we are unable to see the fault within ourselves. And the day you are able to see the faults in you, that is where the journey starts. The journey of self-purification begins with identification of the faults in the self, not anybody else. And the day you see the faults in yourself, you'll realize this world is but a mirror. And what I see is but a reflection of me. If I see anger outside, there is anger inside. If I see frustration outside, there is frustration in me only. If I see jealousy outside, the jealousy is nowhere else but in me. So every time you'll see negativity outside, it'll be a reminder that, my goodness, there is so much negativity within me. The minute I purify myself, the world will become more beautiful for me. Again and again, this is a reminder. See, just like you have to remember and memorize Vibhishan Gita, memorize this also. बुरा देखन मैं गया, बुरा ना दिखया कोई, जब मन झाका आप ना, मुझसे बुरा ना कोई. And the minute this realization comes that there is nobody who is worse than I am, you will start working on self-purification. And that is all that we need to do. See, Ramji, all through his journey, he is not trying to correct anybody else. He is just working on the self. He is just working on the self. He is just trying to purify himself until he realizes that he becomes Ram. We all have the potential. Prabhu Prakat hote. He is always there within. The Lord is not born. He is revealed. At the minute we purify ourselves, we'll be able to reveal that divine from within. So the last word says Dharma Rath, right? This kind of a Rath, the Dharma Rath, if somebody has, he is able to win any battle. So what is the Dharma Rath? We talked about the Dharma Rath in our last session. Our body is the Dharma Rath. And we talked about speed and focus which is needed, the constant effort which is needed. We talked about the three P's. That is, what is it? It is Pratha, Prayatna, Pratiksha. Right? And then we went on to talk about fear. Because what are the two wheels of this chariot? The two wheels of this chariot are Sauraj and Dhiraj. Sauraj is courage. And courage is what we have when we do not let our fears take over us. So how do we conquer fear? Conquering fear is the most difficult thing, right? Yes, that is why we are going to talk about it before we move on to anything else. How do I conquer my fear? Simple. Stop watering your fear. As we said, right? Feed faith. Feed you faith. Feed yourself faith and the fear will disappear. ऐसा हो सकता है, ऐसा होता है. There is no other way. Trust me, there is no other way. करके तो देखो. The minute you have faith, now you'll say faith in who? Faith in the self or faith in God? My question would be, क्या प्रभु और हम अलग हैं? एक ही है. So faith in yourself is having faith in God, and having faith in God will lead you to have faith in the self. आप सोचिए ना, does a guru do anything for you? Of course he does. He changes your life. ठीक है? I don't disagree. Again, this is also something we should always remind ourselves. Guru Govind दोनों खड़े काके लागू पाए, बलिहारी गुरु आप की, गोविंद दियो मिलाए, कोटि कोटि प्रणाम मेरे गुरु, कोटि कोटि प्रणाम. You changed my life. कहाँ थी, कहाँ ले आए आप? It was your faith in me and my faith in you. Faith is such a strong thing. Faith can move mountains. If you have faith in yourself, nothing is impossible. The most hideous of diseases can be cured. The most agonizing of situations can be overcome. The most broken of relationships can be made again by what? Faith and trust. So don't leave faith. To fight fear, you need faith. Right? You have to have faith. Ki hoga. And it is okay to be afraid. We discussed last night, right? It is natural for us to be afraid. What kinds of fears? We have multiple fears, right? What will people think about me is a big fear. That is why many people don't speak out their minds. They are afraid. My God, I'll become an outcast. People will not. I don't know what people will think about me. People won't want to be with me. There is a very great fear. Fear of what others are going to think about me. Fear of loss. What if I lose my near and dear ones? What if something happens to them? What if? That is a very big fear. There are people who are always living in this fear. I know people who are so deeply in the clutches of this fear that when their relatives or when their near and dear ones step out of the house till they return back, they cannot think or do anything else. Fear. Fear of ridicule. Fear of rejection. Many people don't gather the courage to share their feelings because they are afraid that other people will not reciprocate in the same way or in the way they want. Fear. My goodness. Fear hounds most of us. And we all have some kind of a fear that daunts us throughout our life, right? So probably today what you can do is take a piece of paper, right? Take a piece of paper and make a note of all your fears. Arey, likh do usko. Put it on the paper. Why carry the burden of your fear? Put it down on that piece of paper. आज लिखो, कल लिखो, जैसे जैसे याद आता है आप लिखो. Fear of death, death of ours, death of dear ones, that haunts us. From the day we are born till the day we part or go away to the Godheads again, the fear of death is always there with us, isn't it? See, this fear, all our fears, all the fears which have been mentioned, and there could be many more, right? Fear of talking, fear of being in the presence of people who we think are superior to us, right? Who we think might know more. I remember when I was in college, okay, when I was in IIM Lucknow, the college, right, where the who's and who's of the world, the cream of the cream comes in all the IIMs, right? And I was there and it was my first presentation. First presentation in front of the entire class of 60. And guess what? I could not talk. Yes, that's a reality. And when I told about this instance to my undergraduate professors, they were zapped because I was their best student. I could speak very well. I could orate. I was an orator. And that day, when I stood in front of all these people, what happened to my talking skills? Did they disappear? Oration, expression, did it disappear? No. It was all there. But my fear took over. My fear of, my goodness, I am going to talk in front of the cream of India. And I forgot that I was one of them. It's a different story. It's a long story. I fought it and I came back to be a very good orator. But, so the fear actually puts a veil on our biggest talents and strengths. So don't let this fear take over. You could be the best runner, but just the thought that probably I am not and I'll lose or I'll twist my leg will not let you fly and run. So this fear is something we need to work on. बहुत ज़रूरी है. अगर हमने भागवत 9 किताबें पढ़ ली और अभी भी डर है तो फिर तो ठीक नहीं है ना. वैसे कोई बात नहीं. Because somebody asked me, भाई भागवत कितनी बार पढ़ी है? I said अभी तो पढ़ना शुरू करा है, 9वें अध्याय पे पहुंची हूँ. तो दे सेड अरे अभी तो फिर तो पढ़ ही रही है, 3-4 बार पढ़ना तो हम उसको पढ़ना ही नहीं मानते। भागवत तो तब शुरू समझ आने लगती है जब आपने 20 बार पढ़ी हो उसको। तो अभी हम लोग बहुत छोटे हैं, हमें अभी बहुत चलना है, बहुत समझना है, पर इतना तो समझ आ जाना चाहिए कि डर अच्छा नहीं होता। Fear can be won by faith. Fear can be won by faith. So over here, Ramji has to talk about valor. He says courage and fortitude. Sauraj and Dheeraj are by 2 wheels. And till I leave the clutches of fear, I cannot get into courage. Now, what is courage? Let's understand courage. What makes one courageous? What makes one courageous? A person is courageous because of bodily strength or material strength or wealth? No. The people who are very strong to look at could be cowards. Yet, people who are very not of a very strong build could be very courageous and they can do wonders. People who might have the entire wealth of the world could be very wealthy, could be fearful of losing their wealth, right? डर लगता है, right? कि अरे कल को कुछ हो गया, कल को my hard earned money which I have collected over the years goes away, what will I do? This fear of losing their wealth does not let them sleep peacefully also. So is he courageous? Does external material wealth make you courageous? It does not. But a person who is sleeping on the road or the pavement and he has very little is able to give the entire money to a needy person thinking that Prabhu hai na, kal aur mil jayega. Why should I hold on to it when somebody else needs it? Let me just give it away. Faith hai. Even this 5 rupees he only gave me. It is not mine. And tomorrow if I need it, he will give again. Na? प्रभु जब देते हैं तब वो छप्पड़ पार के देते हैं, और जब वो लेते हैं तब दोनों हाथ से सारा बटोर भी लेते हैं. The birds, they don't fly or they are not standing on a thin stem because they have faith and strength on the branch. They have faith on their wings, and hence they are standing on that branch because they know that if at all the branch breaks, I will fly away. My wings are strong. So, when we are at the verge of a situation which needs us to make drastic choices in life, can't we make such choices, not worrying about the future, knowing that the Lord is there? Whatever I have today has been given by Him. If He so wills, He will keep giving it to me. If He so wills, He'll take everything away from me. मैं डरूं क्यों? कहते हैं ना, क्यों घबराऊं मैं? So focus on the present. When you live in the present, it helps you fight your fear. When we keep dwelling in the future, when we keep worrying about the future, when we keep thinking क्या होगा आगे, then we are fearful. And when we keep repenting about our past, कि मैंने ऐसे कर दिया, मैंने वैसे कर दिया, अब क्यों करा, I wish I could change it, you are always in a regretful mode, right? You are always in repentance. You're thinking, why did I do such a thing? I wish I could go back and change it. See, the past is gone and the future is unknown. Live in the present. Be fearful. Be fearless. Do whatever you can to the best of your ability and leave it there and there. जो होगा देखा जाएगा ना. Why should we worry right now? So, अभी राम जी say कि my wheels are Sauraj and Dheeraj. Courage and fortitude. What is courage? Courage is when, ऐसा नहीं है कि you are not fearful at all. When you don't let fear take over. There is a beautiful story which goes, and it says that there was this man who was living in a cave. Okay? He lived in a cave all his life. But he had a son, and his son was also in the cave. And whenever he wanted to go near the exit of the cave, he saw a big shadow and he got scared and he ran back. Again he tried, and everything that he needed was there in the cave. So all this while he would want to go and see what is outside, but he got scared and he would come back and he'd say, "Theek hai, it's okay, life is going on the way it is, it's all right." But one day it just so happened that all their resources got destroyed. And now the time was such that he was going hungry. And soon his son would also have to go hungry. When this situation came, one day this man gathered all his courage. And he said, "Today, no matter what, I will go out and see what is there outside this cave. Nothing will stop me because my son needs this. I will fight my fear and I will see." So this man went, and he was scared, but he did not let his fear take over, and he crossed over outside the cave. And what did he see? He saw that just outside his cave was such a beautiful garden. It was green with fruits. There was a lake outside. There was such a beautiful view. The air was fresh. Oh my God, he thought to himself, just because of my fear, I was trapped in that cave for all my life. Had I not let this fear overcome and take control of me, I would have been outside enjoying this beautiful nature, such fresh food, fresh air. Oh my God, what have I done? So when he moved beyond his fear, he could see that there was actually nothing to worry about. There was a king, okay? Again, another story to explain how fear plays on our mind. बहुत ज़रूरी है समझना, because whether we accept it or not, दुनिया के सामने we might say कि नहीं, I am very brave. Some fear or the other keeps us from reaching our full potential. And ये राम जी में वो डर नहीं था, देखिए. That is why he could reach his full potential of becoming Sri Ram. So now, this king, a criminal came, and the king said, "I'll punish you, but I'll give you a choice." So the criminal said, "Really? I have a choice?" He said, "Yes, you have a choice. You can choose what you want." And the king said, "You choose." And the criminal said, "Okay." So one was a closed door, right? A door. And he did not know what lied behind that door. And the other was a rope, to hang him. So the criminal was there, and the king said, "Choose. Choose what you want." And the criminal was like thinking, "Oh my God, I do not even know what lies behind that door. What if? And so many thoughts came to his mind. It could be lions, it could be people pelting me, or it could be beds of thoughts, all negative thoughts. See, when you can't see the future, most of the time negative thoughts will take over, right? ऐसा तो है नहीं कि पॉजिटिव चीज़ें सोचोगे, वो टेंडेंसी बहुत कम लोगों में होती है, और वो भी प्रैक्टिस करने से आती है कि whatever happens, I am going to look at the brighter side, I am going to think about positive things. It requires a lot of practice, and we have to constantly practice. But this comes naturally, right? Ki, oh my God, this could happen, that could happen. The worst of the thoughts will come about the unknown future. So over here also, he looked at the door and he said, "My God, what stands beyond? I do not know. But at least I know that this is a rope and they'll just hang me and this is something known. So he chose to be hung. And the king looked at him and the king smiled. Now this criminal, he looked at the king and said, "Why are you smiling? Can you please at least tell me what is behind that door?" The king said, all through my career as a king, nobody has chosen that door. Everybody, knowing that they'll be hung to death, still choose the rope. Why? I wonder why, the king said. The criminal said, "At least can you please tell me what is behind that door so that I would know?" And the king said, "Behind that door is freedom. If you would have chosen that door, I would have let you go. You can just open the door and go. But you were so fearful of the unknown, you chose to die by being hung." That is what we all do. Just because we are so fearful of the future, we strangle our present also. ये करना चाहिए क्या? नहीं करना चाहिए. Make the best of today. Don't be fearful. Be courageous. खाना भेजा था ना, I said this song to you. सोचना क्या, जो भी होगा देखा जाएगा. कल के लिए आज खोना खोना, आज ये ना कल आएगा. Today will never come again. This day will never come again. Many times when I get agitated, I tell myself, past में जो हुआ हो गया. I cannot change it. Future is something which I will not know. Let me just try and make the best of today. It is okay. Every day we get up and we make an error in our today, right? Oh my God, I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have been kinder to my children. I wish I would have spent some more time with my daughter. Or I wish I would have not snapped like this. It's okay. Every day when you sleep, tell yourselves that tomorrow, if God gives me the gift of life again, see, be very grateful. There are so many people who sleep and they don't get up again. And if Lord is giving you a chance to correct and make amends the next day, please work on them. So every night be thankful for the gift of life, for all that God has given you. Look around you and say, "Oh my God, I'm so thankful to you. You have been so merciful and kind. You have given me everything that I need. No, Lord, you have given everything that I want. You have given me more than I deserve. I am thankful to you, my Lord. But yet, today I made such and such errors. I made somebody feel sad, or my words were not up to mark. I lost control of my temper. Whatever be it, हो सकती है, गलती हो सकती है, but गलती का सुधार भी हो सकता है. So tell him, tomorrow, if you give me this precious gift of life again, I promise I will work on improving myself. That is all that the Lord needs. कि प्रभु गलती का एहसास हुआ है, गलती हो गई, अब सुधार करूंगी या करूंगा. That is all. So we should do that every day. Every day. See, make this habit of becoming thankful makes you courageous. बहुत ज़रूरी है. And it makes you fearless also. When you are thankful for what you have, when you are thankful for so much that God has given you, your faith in the Lord increases. And when your faith increases, you're not fearful because you know the Lord is in control. अभी तक दिया है तो आगे भी दिएगा. Right? But when you feel that nahi, what I have is not enough, then you start doubting about what you will have or not have in the future, and then you become fearful. See, it is a vicious circle. So be very conscious about what thoughts are going on in your mind. The thought of gratitude should be very strong, and it should be able to will kill the thought of complaining, or the thought of contentment should be very strong, where the thought of being deprived of things should not take over. Count your blessings, count them twice, count them thrice, be thankful. It will calm you down also. The minute you are thankful, the minute you are grateful, the minute you want to make a change and amend, it will calm you down also. And don't be so hard on yourself. See, this situation is not easy for anybody, right? Because we do not know what will happen next, right? Abhi tak we thought that we control life, right? We have everything in our control. We say that everything has happened as per my plan. But the people who are genuinely humble, जो सरल हो जाते हैं, we say, right, कि सरलता is very important. सरल होना, simplicity, being down to earth, humility. How does it come? When you remind yourself that everything is happening as per the Lord's plan. जो कुछ भी आज तक मेरी जिंदगी में हुआ है, उस पे मेरा कोई कंट्रोल तो था ही नहीं. आप बैठ के सोचो. Just sit down at one corner, okay? सोचिए, आप आराम से बैठ जाइए and see what you had planned and what has happened in your life. And trust me, He knows best. Even if we feel that had my plan worked, the situation would have been different, I would have been happy. ऐसा नहीं होता है. Grass is always green on the other side, and He knows the full picture. We don't, right? So think about it and start writing it down. And then you'll realize that it is not only today that the situation was not in your control, not only today that you are surrounded by uncertainties, you have always been surrounded by uncertainties. Things have always been in God's control and not yours. Nothing has changed. Everything is just the same as it was yesterday, or it was before the virus took over. कुछ भी नहीं बदला है. So when then things were in His control, when then everything was uncertain, yet everything was okay, even today when things are uncertain and not in your control, it will be okay. Have faith. Leave it all to the Lord. Live it today. Live in the moment. Do the best you can. And if you make mistakes because of anger, frustration or fear, don't blame yourself or kill yourself. Make amends tomorrow. If people around you are behaving unreasonably because of the situation, give them benefit of doubt. Everybody is going through a burst of bubble. वो bubble फूट गया है. You know that brig who goes around looking for Kasturi, not knowing that Kasturi is in him. He is chasing the smell everywhere all his life, and he never realizes that Kasturi, the smell, is coming from within. Or that horse or that person who's chasing a mirage, right? In the deserts, when it's very hot, there is a reflection that comes, right? And we have seen it in Dubai many times. There's a reflection that comes and we feel that there is water, whereas there is no water. It's a mirage, right? So what happens is, when we reach closer, we realize, oh my God, yahan to pani nahi tha. It was just a reflection. It is just a mirage. And suppose the Kasturi, the brig realizes, the deer realizes, the Kasturi was in me all the time. What will happen? Reality, right? This is what has happened. Only a reality check has happened. Always things were uncertain as per us, not as per God, okay? For God, He knows for certainty where we are headed. Always things were in His control and not ours. So we can see always it was uncertain for me. Always things were not in control of myself. But yet everything was okay. Now that reality is just staring at your face. That is why we are becoming agitated. कुछ change नहीं हुआ है, कुछ नहीं बदला है. If you remind yourself of this, that He was in control, He is in control, He always will be in control, He knows exactly what He is doing, that fear will go away. And when that fear goes away, our behavior will become better. We'll calm down. That anxiety, agitation, aggression, irritation, that is taking over us right now will go away by this very statement that Lord is in control. He knows exactly what is happening. I need not worry. I will not think about the future. I will not repent about my past. I am going to do the best today. And if I make a mistake, I will correct it tomorrow. The minute I realize that I made a mistake, that's it. You are in awareness and correction will happen. So that is being courageous. So that takes away our fear and that gives us courage. We have seen people act in courage, isn't it? We cannot even imagine where the strength came from. I was reading the story long back that a small little boy, he saw the bus caught fire, right? The bus caught fire and he saw that his fellow students, his fellow friends were getting burned. And this boy did not think about himself. He ran into the bus and one by one, he started taking his friends out till the very end, till he could get everybody out. He was a small little boy, no different from the other boys who were stuck there, who were unable to move because the fire was there. He was also of the same age. He was also in the same situation. But what was the difference between those boys who could not even help themselves and this boy who, at the risk of being burnt, and he did get burnt, it seems that half his face and hands and his body had got burnt, but he went on acting and rescuing all his friends. What was the difference between the two? What was the difference? The fear element. One set was fearful and the other was, this boy was courageous. So courage is not that you have external strength. Courage is our internal strength. It is our mental strength. It is our faith. And we need courage to win over all the obstacles that exist in the outer world. In order to have courage, we need to consciously work towards overcoming our fears. Very simple. So when this little boy could work over his fears, he had no strength, and yet do such a miracle of rescuing all his friends. That can't we learn from this little boy? So courage कहाँ होता है? Courage हमारे अंदर होता है. And each and every one of us is courageous because each and every one of us has all the attributes of the Lord, right? हमारे में सारे गुण है जो प्रभु में है, तो प्रभु कायर नहीं है, हम भी कायर नहीं है. He is courageous, I am courageous. The only thing is that fear is not letting my true nature of courage shine. So the first wheel, he says, is courage. मेरे पास पे armor नहीं है, जूते नहीं है, I don't have weapons, I don't have a proper army, I don't have a chariot. But the kind of chariot which I have, it has courage. I have courage. And courage is the only strength you need to overcome any obstacle in your life. Courage, courage, courage. And dheeraj, fortitude. Dheeraj. Why is courage and dheeraj both important? Courage and fortitude, swaraj and dheeraj, why do they go together? Because only a cool mind, only a mind which is not ruffled by problems can come to solutions. A mind which is ruffled and agitated or engulfed by problems and the situation loses his cool, loses his calm, loses his dheeraj. Dheeraj is very essential. Dheeraj is when, in a situation which is very taxing and adverse, one is able to remain calm, think properly, and does not lose faith in oneself. He or she patiently faces all the adversities and keeps moving towards one's goal or keeps moving forward. Dheeraj. And what is it that we lose? I just lost my cool. I just lost my mind. I could not think straight. So you could have everything needed in this world. Okay? You could have the right equipments, you could have the right weapons, you could have the right knowledge, you could have the right team, you could have the right situation. But if you lose your cool, if you lose your dheeraj, if you lose your calm, if you lose your composure, क्या होगा? कुछ नहीं होगा. See, please remember this. As parents, now mothers are listening to it, most of their parents are listening to this, and even if children will be listening to this, listen. Don't overshield your children. What happens is, we want our children to be in a stress-free environment. We want to give them everything possible, and we want to fulfill all their needs the minute it comes out of their mind, of their mouth. Not even mouth, probably the minute a thought comes in their mind, we fulfill it. And then later, when they go into real life, and when they realize that things are not how my parents showed it to me, it is not as rosy, what happens to them? They can't perform. They go into depression. They get stressed. Why? Because we were overprotective. We did not let them strengthen the muscle of dheeraj. By repetition. See, how do you strengthen a muscle? They say repeat, right? When you go to the gym, they say repeat, 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 repeat. 10 sets, 5 sets, 6 sets. Repetition is important. That is why in our Gurukul systems also, nowadays people say कि repetition zaruri nahi hai. I don't believe it, because brain is also a muscle. You have to use it, you have to tax it, you have to repeat, 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 right? You have to use it. That's why no calculators, please. No, use your brain. That's why they say as you are getting older, use your brain, play Sudoku, do some puzzles, so that Alzheimer does not come in. Because it's a muscle. A muscle needs to be used. So, this dheeraj also has to be strengthened throughout our life. So, if a parent is shielding you, is it right? No. As a parent, if you are giving everything on a platter to your child, you are wrong. Your child might hate you right now for making life difficult for him. Let him hate you. Tell your child, I am your parent. Okay? My job is to give a responsible, strong individual who is a kind soul to this world. Not a broken, beaten person who will fall at one encounter with any hardship. No. As a parent, I have a responsibility not only towards you, towards this entire universe. It is my duty to give a Ram, to give a Krishna. And I am going to fulfill this duty. If you want to hate me, you can hate me. I am not in the business of making you love me, my dear child. I am in the business of making you an amazing individual who has the ability to endure all the hardships and yet come out victorious. For that, whatever I have to do today, I will do. Many a times what happens to us is, we want to be in the good books of our children. होता है ये दिमाग में ख्याल आ जाता है ना, oh my God, I'm being so tough with my child. Tomorrow, when I am dependent on my child, will he behave like this with me? Swarth. Don't let it take over. Don't let your selfish reasons take over what is right as a parent. Raise an individual, you will be very proud to say that yes, ये मेरा बेटा है, इसको मैंने तैयार करा है. Although हम करने वाले कुछ होते नहीं है, करता तो प्रभु है. He is the doer. We are nothing. We are just nimitt. But yet, we have to act, right? Don't shake. Don't shiver. So, you have that is the reason. So, that dheeraj, remaining calm in adverse situations, comes with practice also. For that, you need adverse situations, isn't it? From the very beginning, you have to have adverse situations so that when thrown or put front, but when you're faced with such situations, you're able to handle them with a calm mind. And that is the only difference between the person who is successful and the person who is not. कई बार होता है ना, you say, oh my God, I have more knowledge than that person. I have more knowledge, I have more support, I have worked harder than that person. What is the difference between me and him? I reached nowhere in my life and he is so successful. Dheeraj. He is able to think straight in any negative situation and work his way through. So Ramji बोल रहे Sauraj और Dheeraj are the two wheels of my chariot. So I am courageous, I am not a coward, I never let my fear take over, and I am calm and composed. I have Dheeraj. No matter what, I am not going to sway. Sauraj, Dheeraj are these two wheels. Beautiful, isn't it? And जब आपका धीरज खोता है, it is natural. See, we are all work in progress. Even मैं तो ये कहती हूँ कि a person who has almost reached or is almost there where he can say कि तत्त्वमसि अहम ब्रह्मास्मि, I am just a minute away from self-realization, he is also a work in progress. The minute we let our guard down, boom is the fall. Great sages, greatest and greatest of sages, have fallen when they left their guard when they were almost there. So we are all work in progress. We are all working on ourselves. Some are a little ahead, some are a little behind. But this journey में कोई ahead or behind भी नहीं है. It is an individual journey. Focus on yourself. Only yourself. Work on yourself. Only yourself. Everything else around you will fall in place. When you let go of fear, when you embrace courage, and when you are calm and composed in adverse situations, you will walk your talk, and your children or people around you will know and will do the same. A flower just blossoms. That is what we are supposed to do. We are just supposed to blossom. And the fragrance will spread. The winds will take the fragrance away. The flower does not care. The flower is so busy in blossoming to the best of its ability. He is not comparing or competing with another flower. A red flower does not crib and cry as to, oh my God, why am I not yellow? Or a rose does not complain of being a rose and not a sunflower. No. They are all being the best of what they are, and that is it. बाहर देखना बंद कर दो, अपने आप को कंपेयर करना बंद कर दो. Work on yourself. You are an individual. God has not made any two people alike. So what applies to them might not apply to you. That is why our scriptures are so vast. That is why there are so many options. That is why there are 9 ways of praying. Ravda Bhakti. अरे जो आपको अच्छा लगता है करो ना. Don't be in the rat race, please. Because at the end, even if you win the race, you will be a rat. भेड़ चाल में मत चलो. Stop looking outside for a while. Look within. Every day or every week, at least spend some time looking within and figuring out what works for you. How you can remove your fear, how you can embrace your courage, how you can maintain calmness and composedness in any situation. When somebody is yelling in front of you, you yell back. क्यों? Because धीरज नहीं रहा ना यार, मेरा तो धीरज छूट गया. It is so beautiful. The bhajan again says ना कि when your धीरज is going away ना, कि अब मेरे से होगा ही नहीं, दिमाग एकदम खराब हो गया, right? They said ना, oh, I don't know, it's a beautiful thing. I love this. Atamaji Satakli. There was in one of the movies, they said, no, not at all. You will not let your cool go. The minute you feel कि हाँ अब मुझे agitation हो रहा, अब मुझे गुस्सा आने वाला, अब I do not know what to think, I cannot think clearly. What will you do? कृष्ण कृष्ण काहे ना बोले. Immediately, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Ram Ram, whatever. They say, go drink water and come back. Just leave. Clear your mind. This bhajan says, कृष्ण कृष्ण काहे ना बोले, व्याकुल मन जब इत उत डोले, व्याकुल मन जब इत उत डोले, कृष्ण कृष्ण काहे ना बोले, कृष्ण कृष्ण काहे ना बोले. धीरज जाए पग भर बावे, धीरज जाए पग भर बावे, निज मन ही निज तन को खावे, निज मन ही निज तन को खावे, श्याम सर शरण में बनवा बोले, कृष्ण कृष्ण काहे ना बोले, कृष्ण कृष्ण काहे ना बोले. कहते हैं ना, जब धीरज जा रहा है, and you know, when your cool is going, when you're not composed, when you're scared and agitated, you do not know which direction is right and which direction is wrong. Your vision gets blurred. You don't see clearly anymore, right? And when you don't see clearly, can you make a right decision? Can? Nahi. So, धीरज जाए पग भर बाए, धीरज जावे पग भर बावे, निज मन ही निज तन को खाए. When you lose your cool, right? When your dheeraj goes and when your courage goes and when fear takes over, what happens? As last class I said, right? Stress reduces your immunity. Nij tan hi, nij man hi, nij tan ko khaye. My God, I'm so agitated and I'm eating up my own self because of the agitation. My own mind, my own heart, my own man is destroying my own being. It is making me weak. We feel that these things don't have a physical effect on us. Of course it does. It affects us mentally and physically. Our mental health affects our physical health. And how do you strengthen your mental health? Krishna Krishna kahe na bole, vyakul man jab it ut dole, vyakul man jab it ut dole, Krishna Krishna kahe na bole, Krishna Krishna kahe na bole. What stops us? What stops us? Tell me what stops us. Whenever we are agitated, we are okay to pick up the phone or pick up a fight or shout. Why aren't we okay? Why don't we say Krishna, 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 Krishna? Why? Tell me why. Because we feel कि वो क्या कर लेंगे. Let me tell you, अगर कृष्ण नहीं कर सकते, अगर प्रभु नहीं कर सकते, तो और कोई कुछ नहीं कर सकता. And you do not have to go and turn to Krishna with a long list of wants which we always do, right? कि मेरा ये ठीक कर दे, मुझे ये दे दे, ये प्रॉब्लम है, इसको ठीक कर दे, उसको ठीक कर दे, मुझे ठीक कर दे, मुझे ये. No, don't go to Krishna with a list. But then, just like Vibhishan, we are telling Lord, कि I know better, you do not know what is good for me. मत जाओ बाबा, लिस्ट लेके मत जाओ, बस कृष्ण के पास चले जाओ और बैठ जाओ. And then, कृष्ण कृष्ण तू बोले, that's it. And then, इत उत की रस ना हम छोड़े. इत उत मतलब इधर उधर दौड़ना, भागना, सॉल्यूशंस ढूंढना. और अभी मेरे साथ में भी हो रहा था, बार बार न्यूज देखना, अब पता है ना क्या हो रहा है. यस, वॉच इट, बट डोंट लेट इट टेक ओवर यू. वॉच इट, so that you know what needs to be done where. If you can, help out. But don't just watch the news or talk to people just to increase the fear element. No. It's not something which is good to discuss over coffee what is happening right now. But if you think you cannot do anything about it any which ways, stop watching news. Stop talking to people about this. But if you think you'll positively contribute to the situation or to uplift the situation, that is why you need the information, it is worthwhile. But if you're not contributing in any way and you can't contribute in any way or you don't want to contribute in any way, stop, switch off the TV, switch off everything, do your routine and live a happy life. You do not need to know. उत की रचना, यहाँ क्या हो रहा है, वहाँ क्या हो रहा है, ये क्या हो रहा है, सब इसने ऐसे कर दिया, उसने वैसे कर दिया. अरे छोड़ो बाबा, छोड़ दो. उसने मेरे साथ ऐसा किया, 20 years back you said this to me. अरे छोड़ो. इत उत की रस दाहब छोड़े, कृष्ण चरण को मुख अब बोड़े, नारायण हरि बन पथ खोले, कृष्ण कृष्ण काहे ना बोले, कृष्ण कृष्ण काहे ना बोले. So over here, for courage and fortitude, Sauraj and Dheeraj, to make them strong, you have to set aside your fears. And to set aside your fears, you have to strengthen your faith. And to strengthen your faith, you have to turn towards the Lord. अब नहीं तो कब? अब नहीं तो कब? And when you turn towards the Lord, go empty-handed, empty-minded, okay? Don't take a list with you either on paper or in your mind. Just turn towards Him and tell Him, तेरी रज़ा में मैं राज़ी. You know best. May your will, my Lord, always prevail. क्या ना? कर लो करा लो जो है तेरी मर्जी. It's a beautiful song. ना कोई उलादा, ना कोई उलादा, ना कोई अर्जी, कर लो करा लो प्रभु जो तेरी मर्जी. ना कोई उलादा, like no complaints, ना कोई अर्जी. No favors seeking. I'm not seeking any favors from you. Oh my Lord, don't think, प्रभु तुम्हें ये खुश फहमी ना हो जाए कि हम तुम्हारे पास कुछ लेने आए हैं. हम तो सिर्फ तुम्हें अपना प्यार देने आए हैं. ना कोई उलाहना, ना कोई अर्जी, कर लो करा लो प्रभु जो तेरी मर्जी. कहना भी होगा तो तुमसे कहूँगा, जहाँ ले चलोगे वही मैं चलूँगा. जहाँ ले चलोगे वही मैं चलूँगा. जहाँ नात रख लोगे वही मैं रहूँगा. जहाँ ले चलोगे वही मैं चलूँगा. जहाँ नात रख लोगे वही मैं रहूँगा. जहाँ ले चलोगे वही मैं चलूँगा. So to overcome fear and to nurture courage and fortitude, Sauraj and Dheeraj, ये सब करना पड़ेगा. और बाकी तो प्रभु की कृपा. It is all His grace. हम होते कौन हैं? Beautiful, isn't it? And so Ramji is standing there and he says, Sauraj Dheeraj tehi rat chaka. And next he said, Satya Sheel Drid Dvaja Pataka. So Satya and Sheel we'll take at the next session. So this week please, please, please nurture your courage and fortitude. Make your courage and fortitude, your सौरज and धीरज strong. धैर्य रखो, हिम्मत रखो और प्रभु पे विश्वास रखो. सब अच्छा था, अच्छा है और अच्छा ही होगा. जय श्री राम, जय श्री कृष्ण. And before I end this session, I will read this out to you. Very much needed. And this also was my favorite throughout my life, you know. Whenever I feel कि I can't manage, कि अब नहीं हो रहा. देखिए बहुत कुछ. See, I'm just like you. I'm not sitting here preaching. I'm not in any way teaching. I'm not learned. I'm not a sage. I'm nobody, Baba. कुछ भी तो नहीं हूँ मैं. ये आसन भी क्यों मुझे दे दिया आज तक समझ नहीं आ रहा. आई एम नॉट बीइंग हम्बल. प्रभु ने कुछ तो सोचा होगा, पर ठीक है. मैं आप ही की तरह, मेरे भी बच्चे हैं, मेरे भी घर गृहस्थी है. मैं भी कई बार टूट टूट के गिरती हूँ और फिर उठ के चलती हूँ, क्योंकि मुझे पता है कि चलना जरूरी है. गिरना गलत नहीं है, पर अगर आप ना उठे वो गलती है. So let's do this. Don't quit. When things go wrong, as they sometimes will, when the road you are urging seems all uphill, when the funds are low and the debts are high, and you want to smile, but you have to sigh, when care is pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but don't you quit. Life is strange with its twists and turns, as every one of us sometimes learns. And many a fellow turns about when he might have won had he stuck it out. When he might have won had he stuck it out. Don't give up though the pace seems slow. You may succeed with another blow. Often the goal is nearer than it seems to a fair and faltering man. Often the struggler has given up when he might have captured the victory cap. And he learned too late when the night came down how close he was to the golden crown. So please remember that success is failure turned inside out. The silver tint of the cloud of doubt. And you never can tell how close you are. It may be near where it seems afar. So stick to the fight when you're hardest hit. It is when things go wrong that you must not quit. So stick to the fight when you're hardest hit. It is when things go wrong that you must not quit. Please don't quit. Don't quit. Let your faith not shake. Walk in faith. Walk in faith. Walk in faith. Let's do our bhajan. Okay? Lots of bhajans today. कोई बात नहीं. भजन भी अच्छे ही लगते हैं ना. नहीं लगते? मुझे तो बहुत अच्छे लगते हैं. आजकल लगता है कि गाना चाहिए, खूब गाना चाहिए. Sometimes you know the bhajans speak a lot beyond words. And at this time, please राम का सुमिरन किया करो. प्रभु के सहारे जिया करो. अब है ना, हम हमारी ताकत से नहीं चलेंगे प्रभु, अब हम तेरी ताकत से चलेंगे. मेरे प्रभु में तो बहुत ताकत है. मेरी ताकत सीमित है, प्रभु की तो नहीं. टेल योरसेल्फ, मेरे पीछे मेरी प्रभु की ताकत है. राम का सुमिरन किया करो, प्रभु के सहारे जिया करो, जो दुनिया का मालिक है, नाम उसी का लिया करो। राम का सुमिरन किया करो, प्रभु के सहारे जिया करो, जो दुनिया का मालिक है, नाम उसी का लिया करो। राम का सुमिरन किया करो, प्रभु के सहारे जिया करो, जो दुनिया का मालिक है, नाम उसी का लिया करो। जो दुनिया का मालिक है, नाम उसी का लिया करो। सुर दुर्लभ मानव तन तूने, बड़े भाग्य से पाया है। सुर दुर्लभ मानव तन तूने, बड़े भाग्य से पाया है। विषयों में फंस कर के बंदे, हीरा जन्म गवाया है। विषयों में पढ़ कर के बंदे, हीरा जन्म गवाया है। दुष्ट संग ना किया करो, सजनों से गुण लिया करो, जो दुनिया का मालिक है, नाम उसी का लिया करो। दुष्ट संग ना किया करो, सजनों से गुण लिया करो, जो दुनिया का मालिक है, नाम उसी का लिया करो। जो दुनिया का मालिक है, नाम उसी का लिया करो। पता नहीं ये कब रुक जाए, चलते चलते श्वासा। पता नहीं ये कब रुक जाए, चलते चलते श्वासा। एक क्षण में खत्म हो जाए, जग का सभी तमाशा। एक क्षण में खत्म हो जाए, जग का सभी तमाशा। सुबह शाम जप किया करो, याद प्रभु को किया करो। सुबह शाम जप किया करो, याद प्रभु को किया करो, जो दुनिया का मालिक है, नाम उसी का लिया करो। जो दुनिया का मालिक है, नाम उसी का लिया करो। हर प्राणी से प्यार करो, सब में वही समाया है। हर प्राणी से प्यार करो, सब में वही समाया है। मिलकर रहना सब है अपने, कोई नहीं पराया है। मिलकर रहना सब है अपने, कोई नहीं पराया है। हर प्राणी से प्यार करो, सब में वही समाया है। मिलकर रहना सब है अपने, कोई नहीं पराया है। द्वेष भावना किया करो, दुख न किसी को दिया करो। द्वेष भावना किया करो, दुख न किसी को दिया करो, जो दुनिया का मालिक है, नाम उसी का लिया करो। जो दुनिया का मालिक है, नाम उसी का लिया करो। सच्चा सुख है प्रभु भक्ति में, बात न समझो झूठी ही। सच कह रही हो, देखो सच कह रही हो, अपने अनुभव से कह रही हो। सच्चा सुख है प्रभु भक्ति में, बात न समझो झूठी ही। सच्चा सुख है प्रभु भक्ति में, बात न समझो झूठी ही। वो परम पद पाते हैं जो पीते दाब की घूटी ही, वही परब पद पाते हैं जो पीते दाब की घूटी ही। प्रभु राम रस किया करो, राघव दूर न किया करो। प्रभु दाब रस पिया करो, राघव दूर न किया करो। जो दुनिया का मालिक है, नाम उसी का लिया करो। जो दुनिया का मालिक है, नाम उसी का लिया करो। दुनिया का मालिक कौन है? दुनिया का मालिक मेरा प्रभु है। और जब दुनिया का मालिक मेरा प्रभु है, इस दुनिया में कुछ गलत नहीं हो सकता। मेरे प्रभु की अनुमति के बिना एक पत्ता भी नहीं हिल सकता, तो मैं क्यों परेशान हूं? प्रभु नाम रस पिया करो, राघव दूर न किया करो। जो दुनिया का मालिक है, नाम उसी का लिया करो। जो दुनिया का मालिक है, नाम उसी का लिया करो। हरि का सुमिरन किया करो, हरि के सहारे जिया करो। भक्ति से मिल जाए जो, नाम उसी का लिया करो। सिर्फ भक्ति से मिल जाए जो, नाम उसी का लिया करो। नाम उसी का लिया करो। तुम हरि का सुमिरन किया करो, भक्ति से मिल जाए जो, नाम उसी का लिया करो। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारी, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। वासुदेवाय वासुदेवाय। राम लक्ष्मण जानकी, अब जय बोलो हनुमान की। राम लक्ष्मण जानकी, जय बोलो हनुमान की। राम लक्ष्मण जानकी, जय बोलो हनुमान की। बोलो बजरंगबली की जय। जय श्री राम, जय श्री कृष्ण। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे। राम राम हरे हरे। कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे। राम राम